In a city once known for division, a new team on the ice brought unity. From founding visionaries to unforgettable players, from scandals and financial peril to silverware and European recognition, this is the story of the Belfast Giants. A story of survival, a story of triumph, and a story of a hockey team they said wouldn't last. The Belfast Giants were founded in 1997 by Canadian entrepreneurs Bob Zeller and Albert Maslund, riding on Belfast's new Odyssey complex and its arena opportunity. On the 22nd of March 2000, the British Ice Hockey Super League confirmed the Giants would join for the 2000-2001 season. Head coach Dave Whistle was recruited after being sold on the vision, despite initial reluctance due to Belfast's troubled reputation. Their debut season began far from home. The Odyssey Arena wasn't ready, so the Giants played their first 15 games on the road. Their first match, a 5-1 loss to the Nottingham Panthers, but it still carried history. Corey Carlander scored the franchise's first ever goal. That first roster quickly built an identity. On the blue line, Shane Johnson set the tone with bone-crunching hits and a warrior's mentality, while Todd Kelman brought composure and poise, a steadying presence that calmed the chaos. Up front, Colin Ward became the Giants' first true offensive star, finishes the season with a point per game and scoring some of the team's biggest early wins. Rob Stewart embodied reliability, a two-way workhorse who chipped in with crucial goals and leadership. Even in those tough opening weeks on the road, the Giants earned statement victories, silencing doubters and proving Belfast could compete at the top level of British hockey. Then came 2nd of December 2000, the night Belfast changed forever. The Odyssey Arena opened its doors for the first Giants home game, and over 7,000 fans packed into a sold-out arena. A sea of red, white and teal. A new tradition was born. The atmosphere was electric, the noise relentless, and the symbolism undeniable. This wasn't just hockey, it was Belfast uniting. The Giants had truly arrived. The Giants wasted little time in making an impact. In 2001-2002, Kevin Rale brought energy and clutch scoring, while Chad Allen anchored the blue line with dependability, physical play, and Mike Bales patrolled the crease with key saves in tight games, helping the Giants capture the Super League title, a remarkable achievement for a club only in its second season. A year later, in 2002-2003, the Giants added the playoff championship to the trophy cabinet. Robbie Sandrock emerged as a force on both ends of the ice. Paul Cruz provided skillful scoring, and Dave Matsos contributed crucial goals at pivotal moments. But success on the ice couldn't hide the storm off it. By 2003, the franchise was drowning in debt. Creditors were owed hundreds of thousands, a purchase attempt collapsed, and it looked like Belfast hockey might vanish before it truly began. Enter Jim Gillespie, Northern Irish civil engineer turned Texan entrepreneur. Stepping in as philanthropist and saviour, Gillespie rescued the franchise, negotiated with creditors, and secured the Giants' place in the new Elite Ice Hockey League. Without him, the story would have ended there. The early Elite League years weren't just about survival, they were about identity. The Giants had banned political jerseys and sectarian flags, no anthems were played before games, and this was from day one. The Odyssey was declared a neutral ground. In a city scarred by conflict, this mattered. Families came together. Football rivals stood shoulder to shoulder. Belfast hockey was now one of the most inclusive sporting environments in the UK. Jim Gillespie was devoted to this spirit. Every player's contract had a gym clause, mandating 2 community outreach sessions weekly. The Giants became a city unifier, and by the mid-2000s, the Teal Army, Belfast's loyal fans, had become a phenomenon. Following the restructure of the league and the franchise's near collapse, the Belfast Giants entered a rebuilding phase. In 2003-2004, under the guidance of Rob Stewart, the team began to stabilise. Key players during this period included Jason Ruff, serving as captain, providing much needed offensive firepower and leadership, Curtis Bowen, known for his physical play, and Bowen became a fan favourite for his gritty performances. A new emerging local talent also, in Graham Walton, who became a mainstay in the Giants lineup for years to come. Despite individual performances, the team faced challenges and finished 4th in the inaugural Elite League season. In 2004-2005, Tony Hann took over as player coach, bringing a wealth of experience and fresh perspective to the team. Under Hann's leadership, the Giants aimed to build a more cohesive and competitive unit. Players like Curtis Hoopy, who joined the team in 2004, added depth and skill to the roster. Hoopy's contributions were instrumental in the team's development during this period. The 2005-2006 season marked a significant turnaround for the Belfast Giants, under the coaching guidance of Ed Courtney. The re-energised Giants clinched the league title. A notable addition to this team during this period was Theo Fleury, who joined the Giants during the EIHL lockout. Fleury's experience and skill were instrumental in the team's success. The team's blend of experienced players and emerging talent kept them competitive on the ice, and a new era was on its way off it. In 2007, former defenseman Todd Kelman stepped into the role of general manager, and his impact was immediate. He professionalised the organisation from top to bottom, expanded sponsorship deals, growing community programmes, and positioned the Giants not just as a hockey team, but as Belfast's team. On the ice, the trophies soon followed. Under player coach Steve Thornton, the Giants stormed to silverware in 2008-2009 season, leaving both the Challenge Cup and the Knockout Cup. Captain George Awada provided leadership through grit and consistency, while winger Jeffrey Suez brought scoring power that kept opponents on edge. Behind them, a young Stephen Murphy began what would become a long and memorable career in Teal, taking over the crease with composure and talent. With hard-nosed defenders like Tim Cook adding backbone, Thornton's side captured the club's first Elite League playoff championship in 2010, a statement that Belfast were here to stay at the top. The momentum carried into Doug Christensen's era. In 2011-2012, Belfast produced one of the most complete campaigns marching to the league title. The offense was led by the prolific John Pelly, while Craig Peacock emerged as one of the league's brightest young forwards. At the back, the reliability of Jeff Mason alongside the versatility of Mark Garside gave the Giants balance in both defence and transition. Christensen's squad combined depth, discipline and a relentless work ethic, a formula that delivered another championship banner for the rafters. Then came 2013-14, a record-breaking season that would close out the Kelman era in style. With Paul Eadie behind the bench, the Giants set a blistering pace that no rival could match. Veteran forward Kevin Surrett was instrumental in the attack, pairing creative with tireless effort, while defenseman Calvin Elfring brought steadiness and authority on the blue line. Surrounded by a deep roster of new arrivals and developing talent, the Giants clinched the league title with weeks to spare, underlining their dominance. By the time Kelman departed in 2014, his legacy was secure. Beyond the silverware, his greatest success was stability. He left the franchise not just completing but thriving, firmly established as one of the elite hockey markets in Europe. In 2013, disaster struck again. Christopher Knight, an American businessman, had purchased the franchise only months earlier. Then came the bombshell. Knight was revealed to have had a shady past, and though he denied the charges, the damage was done. The Odyssey Trust barred his company from using the arena. Players refused to continue under his ownership, and for 2 games they skated without contracts. Then, in a remarkable show of unity, the entire roster walked away from Knight and re-signed under a new organisation created by the Odyssey Trust. Knight was left with an empty shell. The Giants had survived, but only thanks to swift action from the Trust and the solidarity of the players. Unaware at the time, Todd Todd Kelman's lasting legacy to the club came in the form of a player signing in 2011, Adam Keefe. A gritty Canadian with attitude, Keith quickly won over fans with tenacity, grit and fearless play. But he wasn't just the muscle. Wearing the captain's C, Keefe became the heartbeat of the team. As captain, Keefe lifted the Elite League title in 2014, and his leadership defined a new generation of Giants, blending toughness with passion and showing Belfast what it meant to fight for every inch of the ice. By 2017, after 6 years of leaving everything on the ice, Keefe retired from playing, but his story with the Belfast Giants had only just begun. That same summer, he stepped behind the bench as head coach, and from the moment he took charge it was clear, the fire that had made him an inspirational captain now drove him to lead from behind the boards. Keefe's Giants became relentless contenders. In 2018, he lifted his first trophy as coach, the Challenge Cup, and a year later the Giants added a league title and another Challenge Cup, completing an historic double. Players flourished under his guidance. Colin, the Elite League's all-time points leader, closed his career as a Giant. Fleury, captain of the 2019 double-winning side, set the standard of leadership. Darcy Murphy, whose goals lit up title campaigns. And Tyler Beskorowany, the goaltender whose heroics would help define future glory. Keefe was just getting started. Since 2015, the Friendship Series brought NCAA college hockey teams from the United States to the SSE Arena. The first NCAA games ever played outside North America, and since then has become an annual tradition. But the seeds of this idea were planted 5 years earlier in the year 2010, when the Belfast Giants faced off against the Boston Bruins in an historic exhibition game. That night wasn't just about hockey. It showed the power of sport to build bridges with one of NHL's most iconic teams coming to Belfast and playing in front of a sold-out arena. The success of that game proved there was an appetite for international hockey in Northern Ireland, and it demonstrated how the Giants and the city itself could host major transatlantic events. In 2018, the Giants hosted the Continental Cup Super Final, with Europe's best coming to Northern Ireland. The Giants would end up the competition as runners-up, beaten in the final by GKS Katowice, and in 2019 they made their Champions Hockey League debut, standing shoulder to shoulder with some of the continent's finest. By the 2020s, Belfast wasn't just a hockey city, it was a hockey hub on the international stage. In 2020, the world shut down. The COVID pandemic silenced the Teal Army, and for the first time since the year 2000, Belfast Giants hockey stopped. For 18 months, the Giants were grounded, but Keefe remained the steady hand preparing for the day Belfast hockey would return. When it did in 2021, the Giants came back stronger than ever. That year marked a new era for the club. Not just a return to the ice after the pandemic, but a complete rebrand. Out went the old look and in came a refreshed identity with a bold new logo, updated colours, and a modernised image that reflected where the organisation was heading. The rebrand wasn't just cosmetic, it symbolised resilience. The Giants embraced the chance to evolve, to reconnect with fans, and to set the tone for the next chapter of their history. By 2022, the Giants were once again in full flight. That season, they not only lifted the Challenge Cup, but also clinched the Elite League title, reasserting themselves at the top of the Elite League. Among the squad driving that success were a number of players who became central to the Giants' new identity. Scott Conway led the charge up front, turning up the league with 40 goals and 50 assists in the regular season, combining lethal finishing with an uncanny knack for being in the right place at the right time. Meanwhile, Gabe Bast on defence offered both offensive support and rock-steady backline play. His 16 goals from the blue line were huge in tight games. Also critical were Mark Cooper, whose creativity and vision opened up chances for teammates, and Ben Lake, whose work rate and soft hands made him a constant threat in transition. The following year in 2023, the unthinkable achieved: the full treble, league, cup, playoffs. What stood in the treble season was balance, star power up front, strength from the back, and reliable depth. Scott Conway wasn't just scoring, he was also drawing the attention of defences, freeing up space for David Goodwin and Steve Orr to exploit. Jeff Baum, Sam Rupp, and Will Cullen held the defensive end with resolve, shrugging off momentum swings and keeping the Giants steady in games where one lapse could cost you silverware. And behind it all was Tyler Beskorowany. Calm, imposing and reliable, the big Canadian goaltender gave the Giants confidence in every situation, stealing points on the road, shutting the door in tight games, and providing the foundation on which trophies are built. His stellar performances will go down in history, and earn him the right to be considered one of the best goalies in Belfast Giants history. But this wasn't just another trophy haul, it was a statement. The treble was the kind of achievement teams dream of, the pinnacle of club success, and proof that the Giants were not only back but setting a new standard of excellence for the Elite League. For the fans, it was validation of everything the club stands for: resilience, ambition, and community pride. And for Adam Keefe, it cemented his legacy as a coach who didn't just lead a team, but built a dynasty. In 2024-2025, the Giants added yet more silverware to the cabinet, underlining their place as the dominant force in British hockey. Another league crown paired with Challenge Cup success showed that Belfast's winning culture wasn't a flash in the pan, but a sustained era of excellence. Each new season has brought fresh faces and new challenges, but the results remain the same. The Giants find ways to lift trophies and inspire new generations of fans. Today, the Belfast Giants are more than just a hockey team. They're 8-time league champions, 6-time Challenge Cup winners, 3-time playoff champions, knockout champions, and European competitors. But beyond the silverware, their legacy is deeper. They've united a city once divided and built a community. From early icons like Paxton Schulte and Theo Fleury, to all-time points holder Colin, dedicated owners like Jim Gillespie, off-ice builders like Todd Kelman, and to leaders like Adam Keefe, the Giants' story is one of resilience, survival, and triumph. It's the story of a team that proves, in the land of the Giants, everyone is equal.